Welcome to Talk Tarot. Hi Scorpio, this is your Karmic Life Lessons reading for the summer solstice period, beginning June the 21st and carrying on through to the winter solstice of December 21st, 22nd, depending where in the world that you are. Looking at the spread as a whole, the energies seem to be focused on security and masculine influences in the Scorpio's life. There seems to have been loss there. There is a feeling of a loss of money and then a new beginning. So we're going to jump straight into it and look at what these lessons hold for a Scorpio. The first position refers to the lessons that we had the opportunity to learn and what energies from them we're taking into the next 6 months. Here we have the King of Pentacles in reverse, the Seven of Wands and the Three of Cups. Straight away the feeling is that Scorpio have been a bit careless with their money, that a little bit too much money has been dedicated to partying or celebrations. This certainly could be having a large outlay regarding a party or celebration, whether that be a graduation party, a wedding, a milestone birthday. And this has left Scorpio a bit short with that Seven of Wands there, indicating a defensiveness against how much money has been spent. There may have been issues in your relationships for the past 6 months regarding how money is getting spent and how much money is being dedicated to partying or discretionary expenses. For some of my Scorpios, I feel that the past 6 months have seen debtors looking to collect money that you just don't have at the moment, and it's possibly as a result of unwise speculation, gambling, or taking a risk with an investment which has not paid off. I just got a message from Spirit: the clothes don't make the man. I think what they're trying to say here is that the lesson from the past 6 months is perhaps not to focus on what you have as status symbols or what you can provide to others, but rather the focus should be on what you offer as an individual that comes from within. There's also a feeling here that some Scorpios have been taken advantage of financially by a man in the romantic arena, whether that's a same-sex relationship or heterosexual. It would appear that there is a man, possibly an earth sign, who has been with Scorpio because of the financial support that you can provide for them. As we move into the next 6 months, the energy you're taking from these cards is the Seven of Wands and the Three of Cups. The Seven of Wands being a defensive energy, a combative energy, but one that ultimately sees you in a perfect prime position to be able to defend your behaviour, your spending habits, and what you offer. The Three of Cups suggests that we are taking in an almost renewed pleasure in the simpler things in life. There is a feeling of a new social circle as well as we move into the next 6 months. Let's have a look at the next 3 cards. This is in the lessons yet to be learned position. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Swords and the Princess of Swords. There's an implication of an air sign being involved here. There is with the Princess of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, is a feeling of my word is my worth. It's living up to a promise, it's delivering on a promise, it is paying off debts. These debts needn't be financial debts, but rather karmic debts or favours to be returned, possibly from friends. When I look at that Four of Swords, it's almost an image of a spiritual group, a social group, who are sitting satsang, putting the world to rights, rebalancing the relationships. There could be wealth coming from the written word to a family group. Could be someone in the family is about to have something published, there's a screenplay, something like that. The lesson here, or the opportunity to learn here, is how to invest our money wisely. Scorpio, I generally don't feel are a sign that are overly interested in the financial side of life. I tend to find most Scorpios that I know have been extremely generous people. But there may be a lesson here with the Princess of Swords of when to know when to cut someone off if someone is taking advantage, Scorpio. In the karma that requires to be balanced position, we have the King of Cups, the King of Swords and the Five of Swords. This could certainly indicate that there is karma to be balanced between a water sign and air sign. The cards are showing Cancer and Libra. However, it could be any water sign and air sign, and with Scorpio being a water sign, it could certainly be between yourself and the air sign. We've already seen the Princess of Swords energy, so it does look like air signs may be prevalent in your life. With it being the King of Cups and the King of Swords, the debt here that needs to be repaid could be an expression of kindness, an expression of affection. It could certainly be that Scorpio is required to step up to the mark and tell someone that they love them and say it and also demonstrate it. This simply could be a karmic debt that needs to be settled between yourself and a Cancer or yourself and a Libra. A settling of old scores. We do have the Five of Swords there. The Five of Swords is typically a card that asks you to review if it is worth winning any battle. Is it worth? The lesson here would be that ultimately universal justice is served. Is there any point, Scorpio, in the constant need, desire or wish for revenge and settling of old scores? For some of my Scorpios, you can expect an expression of kindness, affection and support towards yourself when you are feeling defeated, when you're feeling low energy. You will notice that your gentleman in the Five of Swords is lying there exhausted. This could be an offer of help, and know that this is coming from a need to balance karma. It is coming in support of help that you have previously given. There may be a need for some of my Scorpios to choose between a Cancer and Libra or water sign and air sign. This could be romantically, but it could also be choosing a side with friends. We've already seen the Swords energy for that cutting off of someone. It feels very much with the Four of Swords and that satsang, that social group and the feeling of a new social circle that's prevalent in this, that you've actually been caught in the middle of someone else's battle. It's been taking a toll on you physically, it's been taking a toll on you emotionally, it has been draining for you, and that you need to choose a side or just opt out and let them get on with it. For some Scorpios, there is a romance with a King of Cups, King of Swords, or with a water and air energy. This could be someone who is playing the fields. We could have two romantic offers here. The King of Cups offering you a cup of love, kindness, emotional support, very much of your suit. The King of Swords coming in very strong, very alpha male, very athletic, and it may be wearing you out trying to keep up with both of them. Please note, if you are in that sort of player, balance and relationship energy, that will eventually be repaid to you as well. That could be the karma that you're accruing in this next cycle. Moving on now to the lesson that you most need to learn in the next solstice cycle between June the 21st and December 21st. We have Judgment, the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. Overall, these cards speak to being aware of the illusion of financial security and what you own. Again, that was that message we got at the start when Spirit came in and says the clothes don't make the man. A second chance to invest is an illusion. It's not going to pay off and give you that Nine of Pentacles. It could be a second chance to learn that lesson about wise investment with the Nine of Pentacles there. The Judgment card also always suggests to me forgiveness, and next to the Seven of Cups, which is a card of illusions, it could be that you need to forgive someone for their illusions or the illusions they've created in your life. This could be someone who has been lying to you. Certainly it could be someone who's lying to you about money or about their status. There's a feeling that someone is going to come back to your life, Scorpio, making an offer that you don't know if you can trust. And only you can decide whether you will ever feel secure again with that Nine of Pentacles card. Also a temptation there in these next 6 months to gamble, relay, horse racing, boxing, whatever your poison is. There is a temptation for speculation with rewards that are promised that are not necessarily going to materialise. With that Seven of Cups there could be a dream that you're chasing, Scorpio, a dream that you're maybe even given a second chance to with the Judgment card, the resurgence of old desires that are illusory. Whilst there is something very real for you with the Nine of Pentacles, there is something very real. You have security at the moment. Do you want to speculate that? Do you want to gamble that on this Seven of Cups energy? I'm very drawn to the girl in the Judgment card who is basically swimming through quicksand. Your energy has been a lot like that in recent readings. We do have Mars going retrograde as well shortly, which does affect my Scorpios. You could be feeling apathetic and lethargic. I feel that some of you may think that you have an illness that you haven't got checked out because you're afraid of what it may be, but that your fears may be ungrounded in the direction that you think this illness is going, and that you have to get the treatment and the professional advice from a doctor. The Judgment card here could be speaking of a recurrent illness, something that you have battled in the past. It could also be speaking of getting a second opinion if you have recently had a diagnosis, which is going to cost you a lot of money to restore your health. Or it's going, and now that doesn't only mean like in America where they've got healthcare bills. It could be something that requires adaptations to your life that are costly. There's an energy here of getting a second opinion if it's available to you. The lesson available to you in the next 6 months is very one of second chances. It is of things recurring. It is of deciding what your priorities are with that Seven of Cups. You're going to be given opportunities to demonstrate how you've changed and how you see through the illusion of the attraction of the physical wealth. With the girl that was swimming through quicksand and the Judgment card being a call back to life, I do feel like in the next 6 months something will change for you that will renew your energy and revitalise you. These next 3 cards look at the helpful influences that are coming into your life. Here we have the Five of Pentacles, the Prince of Cups, reversed, and the Chariot card. Right away we see the Prince of Cups, which is the Scorpio card in this deck. You can see the Scorpion there in reverse, indicating to me that a helpful sign is going to come in, or a helpful person is going to come in when your world's turned upside down, when you feel at your very lowest ebb, especially with the Five of Pentacles there, which is a sign of lack. The Five of Pentacles can be emotional lack, physical lack, financial lack. That is leaving you feeling low. However, there is someone coming in to help you and you're going to make rapid progression there. We have the the Chariot card, which can indicate Cancer, who could be coming in to give you a hand. We had the King of Cups above. This could be a Cancer gentleman who is going to help you with your finances in some way. It could also be a Cancer gentleman who is going to help you renew or restore your social circle to feel more involved in life again, especially with the Judgment card being present on deck. The Five of Pentacles is also a sign, but also a card that deals with feeling left out in the cold and in need of help. By the look of these cards, I would say that the help is there for you, but you are not taking it. With that Prince of Cups, you're refusing to see the help, or you're refusing to accept help that has been offered to you. There's a feeling of loss of employment here. I'm looking at that sort of industrial wasteland, essentially, in the Five of Pentacles. It could be that a job has ended and that has diminished your social circle. It could be that a job has ended or you've retired perhaps, and you're feeling a lack of confidence stemming from that, or a lack of connection with the outer world. Whilst I'm not heartened to see the Prince of Cups in reverse in your own reading, and the helpful influences, I'm very delighted to see that the Five of Pentacles is there alongside Chariot, because that means that there is help available to you to help you to move on and progress away from this. For some of you, if you have been chosen between the air sign and the water sign as discussed above, ultimately it's not going to matter. We had the Five of Swords showing that you are depleted from these romantic interactions, and the Five of Pentacles showing that ultimately you're going to land on your own anyway with the Prince of Cups upside down, because you're meant to move on and someone's coming in there to help you progress past any period of heartache. The final cards look at the things to avoid for the next 6 months. We have the Sun, we have the King of Wands, and the World card. These are strange cards to see in a position of things to avoid. The Sun, which it is in its upright position, normally means childhood innocence, it means joy, it means completion, satisfaction, happiness. And with the World card, which is also a sense of joyful completion, this could be a message not to celebrate too soon when you think something's completed, or when you think that you are finished, done, or over something. Especially with the Judgment card above, we have the Sun is 19, which reduces down to 1 to a new beginning, with the Judgment card above being a 2, which is needing to redo something. So that sense of completion could be an illusion. The World card also would indicate to me, watch out for ending things too quickly, for not giving people a chance, especially again referring to the Judgment card with that need for forgiveness. Forgiveness is a key lesson here for Scorpio. The King of Wands is a fiery individual. It is a fire sign, so there could be a message to avoid dealings with a fiery man in authority. It could also be a warning against expressing that fiery nature that Scorpio has. I mean, you may be a water sign, but you're boiling water in my opinion. You are fiery, you are explosive, and whilst you can maintain your cool whilst you're planning your revenge, every now and again you just go off like a firework. So before you go off like a 2-bob rocket, please establish your innocence with that Sun card there. Because whatever is the outcome of an exchange between you and a fire sign ultimately is going to lead to something that is done and dusted for good. And it may not be in your best interest for it to be done and dusted for good. It could be the loss of a friendship, it could be the loss of respect, loss of employment, loss of a relationship, due to paranoia, suspicion, and that fiery nature of your Scorpio. With the Sun card and the World, there is also watch what you're doing on vacation. If you're going anywhere tropical or exotic, please be careful what you're doing there. There's a warning against not only premature celebration, but a warning against over celebration. With the Sun card, I would suggest that you look for things that you took joy in as a child, or in your youth rediscover that passion for simpler pleasures, rediscover a sense of wonder at how wonderful the world and the universe is. Right, I've been told to say that there is a risk of exotic diseases from casual sexual encounters with an exotic or a sort of holiday romance feel. Let's move on now and have a look at the angel heart sigils of Stuart Pearce. See what angels are with Scorpio during this period and what they have to say about the reading. First up, we have Archangel Hanael with a message of loyalty in that position of what we could have learned in the past 6 months. It does look as if there has been someone who's been abusing Scorpio's more generous nature, and you may have learned out who your real friends are through this. Hanael is expressing that my Scorpios are loyal, that tenaciously loyal, that this disappointment that you've experienced is ultimately for your own good. It's very much a find your tribe type of vibe. There's also loyalty in an unexpected place that has yet to reveal itself from you, and I think you're going to get a surprise when you see who comes in as your helpful influence. It is someone that, the shade of Prince of Cups was reversed because it's someone that you've turned away from or turned your back on because you think that they're disloyal, and they're going to surprise you by an amazing show of support when you need it most. In the position of what lessons that we have still to learn, we have Hanael again with innocence. Now, isn't that interesting, especially with the Sun card at the bottom there? Making sure that you establish your own innocence in any event which has left you feeling abused, which has left you feeling financially depleted or used. And certainly with that feeling of someone coming back to Scorpio who is going to be very supportive, that you've previously suspected of being disloyal or treacherous, when in fact they have been innocent. There's also a feeling I'm getting from Hanael here. I think he's saying that there is a Scorpio who has been falsely accused, who is actually going through a judicial process at the moment. There has been lies in this judicial process, and ultimately, Scorpio, that your innocence will be proven. And it may result in a payout because my eyes are drawn to that Ace of Pentacles. I'm also drawn to the stone on that Ace of Pentacles. It looks like a coffee bean. It's maybe something that's been keeping me up at night and you've been needing coffee to get through the day. In the position of karma that's yet to be balanced, we have Sun Dolphin overlooking with a message of stillness. Beautiful message. I am very drawn to the landscape there. You see it more towards the wintry feel. So I'm thinking this karmic happening, this karmic balance should be restored by the winter solstice. The message of stillness is one of patience. Be patient and wait to see what happens. I did say in this position, I believe, that there was a feeling of overexertion of masculine energy, of activity, and that would have to be repaid by a period of stillness, and now we have stillness there. The universe is asking you to take a break, take a rest, watch and wait. There's also a feeling of when you feel defeated, that there in that moment of defeat, if you access that inner stillness within you, that you can find the wisdom of whatever life lesson that you happen to be transversing at that time. Over the lessons, the most important lesson to be learned in this cycle, we have the Archangel Jophiel with celebration, and my eyes been drawn to that Judgment card right next to it. This is the second sign that we have seen of an innocent Scorpio being able to celebrate following a legal victory. For other Scorpios who are not involved in the legislative process, there is a feeling of Archangel Jophiel reminding you to celebrate those small pleasures in life and to celebrate this almost healing energy of this Judgment card and that recall back to life, feeling your energy return and becoming more involved in life. There's also a reminder to celebrate what you value, and that not necessarily being physical coins, but what brings you security within yourself. In the helpful influences position, we have Shamael with the orientation card. Now this is a card that I always associate with a guide coming in, with someone to guide you through. Shamael always makes me think, with that purple energy, it's going to be someone who is rather spiritual, or that you're going to receive spiritual guidance. Knowing Scorpio, who like to swim about in those sort of deeper subconscious waters, it could be a dream, it could be a vision during meditating, could even feel like a hallucination, is going to point you in the right direction for you to progress and move on out of that sort of upside down energy. In the final position of things to avoid, we actually have reconciliation by Archangel Shamael again. Now you can see that's Gorbachev and Reagan there during the Cold War when they managed to reconcile. that very much resonates with the message I was getting, not to end something too soon, or not to celebrate the ending of something too soon and establish that innocence. There's a chance for a very important reconciliation for Scorpio, and for some I feel this is with a family group where there has been a war. It's also that picking sides energy, and that person that you think has betrayed you energy is all coming together in this card with this reconciliation. There could even be a Scorpio here who has been falsely accused, and I'm probably speaking to a cross-watcher, that has been falsely accused, who was imprisoned, and they're getting back home to you with this. For one of my Scorpios, I'm getting the message that there's someone coming back into your life to make a romantic offer. It was a relationship in the past that did not benefit you, that was tumultuous. It would go through periods of calm, periods of almost frosty acceptance, and a very strange kind of love, and then it would become explosive. This reconciliation that is being offered, the dynamics of the relationship haven't changed sufficiently, and you may want to avoid that. Let's have a look at the Angel Therapy deck by Doreen Virtue. See what the opportunities for healing are here. And yes, in the first position we have cut your cords. Now this was a position I spoke about, you feeling taken advantage of or taken for granted. And Archangel Michael's appearing there, saying ask Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments to fear that stem from past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. Remember, when you're cutting your cords from these previous relationships, possibly with an air sign, to put in place boundaries to prevent that cycle from reoccurring. In the position of life lessons that are yet to be learned for Scorpio, we have the past life issue card, which states this situation has a basis in one of your previous lifetimes. Ask your angels to help you remember, release, learn and heal from your past experiences. I would say in this position this refers to a past debt, but from this life. Whether that the basis of that debt stems from a previous life or not will depend on your own beliefs, really. Sometimes when we receive unexpected good or unexpected bad and it feels surprising, it certainly can be a reward for things that we don't even know that we've done. And I feel that Ace of Pentacles energy may be that, and it may offer you freedom with the Princess of Swords there. In the karma still to be balanced portion, we have the card Earth Angel. You're a light worker who has come to Earth to teach about love. That's simply a reminder to remind you that underneath the appearance of everything, love lies. And that regardless of what may appear to you, that you are loved. And that you're capable of expressing that love of the King of Cups there and the King of Swords, the Master of Expression. That you can master your expression of love to offer something truly wonderful and of immense value to your family, yourself and your community, and possibly the world at large if you are indeed an Earth Angel. In the position of the most important lesson to learn this cycle, we have the Workshops and Seminars card. The card reads, attending and giving speeches as part of your spiritual path and purpose. Be open to teaching and learning. Now with this appearing on top of the Judgment card, and I find Judgment and Justice both to be very karmic cards, and it is in your position of most important lesson to learn in this cycle. It looks like you're getting a huge lesson that is part of your spiritual path and is going to put you onto your spiritual purpose. You will be both taught a lesson and you will teach a lesson. We are sometimes the recipients of karma, we are sometimes the deliverers of karma. Could very well be that for Scorpios, getting back in touch with your spiritual self, your spiritual path and purpose leads to that Nine of Pentacles. Certainly this card would be very supportive if that's a change you're thinking of making in your life by pursuing a spiritually based career. If you're thinking of giving a relationship a second chance, I did mention that in this position, I would see workshops and seminars actually suggesting more counselling or some type of talk therapy for you and the other partner. Now, very interestingly, in your helpful influences position, we have a twin flame card on top. It says the answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationship. Now, if you recall, this is the position where I spoke of feeling shut out by someone, or you having shut someone out because you felt they were untrustworthy or disloyal, and also felt that person was coming back to prove their loyalty and to be of immense support to you. That would certainly resonate with the twin flame energy. So if you've been separated from your twin flame, if you have been separated from your soulmate, there is a reunion likely to occur here, especially with the Chariot. That's a card after the Lovers, and it's moving on from that love, but it's taking the essence of the love with you. It's reconciling the male and feminine energies from the Lovers card. And we did have reconciliation offered by Shamael. If this is a twin flame relationship, certainly it will have its ups and downs, and perhaps there is someone coming back who is a soulmate. Again, there was a slight warning with the reconciliation card to be aware that the dynamics of the relationship haven't changed. For some of my Scorpios, I feel as if this is saying that somewhere you go to receive help is where you'll bump into someone who is a soulmate. Remember, soulmates are not always romantic, although the twin flame connotation does lend itself towards romance. So there could be a spiritually based romantic partner appearing to help you. This partner could be a Cancer with the Chariot in attendance. The Five of Pentacles, which lies underneath, is normally shown as a church building, and they're out with the church. You've already had that sort of recall back to spirituality with the previous card, so it could be that going to church brings you into contact with a spiritual partner or someone who supports you spiritually. In the final position we have, you are profoundly clairvoyant. Trust what you see in your mind's eye as well as with your physical sight, for your spiritual vision helps with your healing, teaching and guidance. Certain both the Sun and the World cards in this position do refer to spirituality, to spiritual completion and spiritual happiness. This could be the completion of a karmic cycle, certainly, since that's what we're talking about, or a spiritual cycle. It could be a growth in that. Funny enough, I said to Cancer that I find they had this in this position. I said I find you and Scorpio to be amongst the most perceptive signs, so that coming out again for yourselves does give me a little chuckle. But with them, what I said, and the message goes for you too, is that you are a perceptive sign. You know what's wrong for you and what's right for you. Scorpio's not that bothered about right and wrong. Morality's kind of blurred for them a lot of the time. So you stray into those darker areas every now and again that you really shouldn't. But ultimately, you have this precognitive ability to guide yourself in and out of the darker, more surreal areas of life. There could be a few surreal things coming your way, actually, a few spiritual experiences that leave you going, what the just happened? If you have a precognitive dream, or you find yourself with that sense of deja vu when you're in an area, especially a foreign land for anyone who's travelling, please pay attention. Please start observing your personal safety at that point. Overall, Scorpio, a bit of a roller coaster. We're still feeling a bit depleted there, Scorpio. We are getting there. Thank you very much for listening to Talk Tarot. This wraps the reading up. I will be back on the 28th of June with the full moon manifestation readings. Hopefully I'll see you then. Until then, be blessed. Bye.